Just a few moments where we're going to sit, however's comfortable for you to sit. This is going to be a 1 hour power yoga, but the most important thing, just easy cross-legged, is to set up the breathing that's going to move us through this system of yoga. So just wherever feels okay for your hands to be, just take your gaze down, just bring in awareness to the face, and it's with the mouth gently closed that we start to deepen the next inhalation through your nose, and match that with a slightly longer exhalation. Smooth breath in, smooth breath out. The idea in any yoga class is to try and maintain this awareness to the breath as we move through the physical postures. So you don't just get the benefits of the physical postures, we build up a little bit of strength and gain some flexibility, but we also cultivate this idea of this quality of mind, this place where we're just turned inwards to the sensation of this fuller, deeper breathing. And that's the challenge really, to stay with this full, deep breathing as we move through these postures. And as this is a fairly challenging physical practice, can you feel as you take your next breath in that it's filling the lungs? You want to try and get most of the air going up here. So some sense of expansion up here as you breathe in, and then release as you breathe out. This is all done with a little bit of awareness to our abdomen. You want to feel a little bit of support to this area here. And just a few more moments here. So just visualize your abdomen, that area around the navel, being fairly still. And then breathe in, fill the lungs. Breathe out, empty the lungs. This is the most important thing we're doing. And then these postures from this yoga series are just going to unfold over time. So you're going to just do whatever feels appropriate for you this afternoon. I'm going to give you lots of variations, and we're going to begin now by moving. So we're going to uncross the legs. We're going to come into cat posture, which means we're taking the legs behind us. We're looking down at our hands with the fingers spread on the palms, the knees a little way apart, toes behind. Approximately your shoulders are above your wrists and your hips are above your knees. Relax the neck, just looking straight down. Make sure the shoulders feel soft, and we continue to breathe here. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And now we begin to coordinate the breath with the movement. So as we take our next breath in, lift the gaze, roll the shoulders back slightly, just look slightly forwards, just take it easy on the neck. And then exhale, we're going to round a little bit and look back to our knees. Inhale, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Imagine your tummy is going down. Exhale, imagine you're rounding, arching your back like an angry cat. Inhale, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, look slightly forwards. Exhale, rounding, imagine the tummy lifting up. Just take the gaze back to your knees, keep the shoulders soft. One more time. Inhale, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. And this time we're going to tuck the toes and press and activate the legs to move us into our first downward facing dog. Gently rolling back over the feet. You've just lost sight of your hands. You can feel the fingers spread into the mat behind you. We're going to take this as an opportunity just to bend each leg in turn. So you can bend your left knee and then bend your right knee. As you bend that left leg, just press a little bit further back into that right heel. And then as you bend your right knee, just press a little bit further back into that left heel. Just do that a couple of times on each side. In these down-facing dogs, we try and keep lifting the hips, sending the chest towards your feet. I'm just going to pause there and just hold it still just for one more breath. And then we're going to gently look forwards to the hands. And we're going to walk the feet in about halfway. You can bend the knees. We're going to be here for a few breaths in a nice, easy forward bend. You might want to just bring your hands forward slightly. You can put your hands on the top of the feet, ankles. An alternative might be just to hold your wrists. Try and completely let the head hang. Feel that space around the shoulders. And try and now just bring your awareness to your feet. Can you evenly feel the toes and the heels pressing down into the mat? In these forward bends, there's a few coming up in this yoga series. If you need to soften your knees at any point, that's fine. Just take it easy on your hamstrings. Just listen to what it feels like throughout the entire body and just whatever feels appropriate for you. From here, inhale, coming all the way up to standing. And we're going to interlace our fingers and just move the palms up away from us. And then feeling that space around the shoulders, if you wish to go a little bit further, palms up towards the ceiling. but try and avoid lifting the shoulders too far up towards the ears. Just roll the shoulders back and look straight ahead and keep breathing these nice steady breaths. And as you're facing me, you're going to just take that out to your left side. So just reach the arms sideways, and that means your right hip can slightly go off to the right side. Keep breathing and keep facing forward, so we're not twisting. Holding that for another breath. Before we inhale, come up to center. Exhale, we're taking that down on the other side. And breathe in a few more breaths. Keep the feet firmly planted on the ground. Smooth breath in and out. Before inhaling to center, I'm going to exhale, take the hands to the sides. I'm going to bring the feet a little bit closer. So we're beginning with some sun salutations. We're at the front of our mat, feet pretty close, eventually touching, a little bit of space in front of us, put our hands down in a moment, plenty of space behind us to step the feet back. So again, coordinating the breath and the movement, and I'm going to take you through a few variations progressively of these sun salutations. So take them nice and steady on these first few. So we're gazing straight ahead, palms facing in, and we begin by inhaling, reaching the arms up, looking up to our palms. As we exhale, we can soften the knees. We can take our hands down onto our shins or ankles, just let the head hang. We're going to stay low. We're going to inhale, lift the gaze, roll the shoulders back, look forwards. It's important now to bend the knees, plant the hands down, and we're going to just go back into that cat posture. So gently come down onto the knees, flick the toes out behind you. We inhale just as before, tummy goes down, lift the chest, look forwards, and then this time tucking the toes, pressing back into the down facing dog. We're going to have a go at holding this one, keeping the legs fairly still. Keep lifting the hips. Imagine your chest is moving towards your feet. And again, even though you can't see your hands, feel the fingers spread nice and wide into the mat behind your head. It's already 3. So the challenge here is to keep focused in on the breath. Smooth breath in through the nose and out through the nose. It's 4. And one more is 5. Inhale, look to the hands. This time, challenge is to get the feet coming through a little bit further. Stay low, front of the mat, look up. Exhale, gently fall down. You can soften the knees, just let the hands be wherever feels appropriate. But inhale, press into the feet. Reach the arms up, space around the shoulders. We're looking up to our palms, and we're going to go straight back down. So as we exhale, folding down, soften the knees, take it easy on the hamstrings. Fingers go down, or hold onto your ankles or shins. Stay low. Inhale, lift the gaze, roll the shoulders back, look forwards. This time as we bend the knees, plant the hands down with the fingers spread, stepping the feet a little bit further back to come down onto our knees, elbows in, and we're lying down on our front this time. Ready to do Cobra, Bhujangasana. So gently pressing the hands into the mat by your shoulders, lift the chest, and just see if you can look forward slightly. Keep the legs nice and active. Then gently, more challenging from here, tuck the toes, press down on the knees, and then activate the legs, sending it back to a down-facing dog. We're going to be here for a few more breaths. Keep lifting the hips. Keep the legs pleasantly active. Can you spread your toes nice and wide into the mat? Feeling that nice space around the shoulders and that energy spiraling down through the arms and out through the fingertips. Just a couple more breaths here. Smooth breath in and out. That's 4 and 5. Inhale, looking to the hands. At some point, you might want to have a little go at a jump or a step, getting the feet back through to the front. Stay low, look up. Exhale, gently folding forwards. Let the head hang. Inhale, press into the feet, spread the toes down to the mat, space around the shoulders, gazing up, palms are facing each other. Exhale, we're going to go down. Last variation. Take the hands down to shins, ankles, fingertips on the ground, let the head hang. Stay low. Inhale, lift the gaze, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, bend the knees, hands down. If you want to have a go doing a little jump back, you can. Elbows in. Try and keep your body nice and strong as you lower down. A little bit further to go from Cobra is to keep your thighs off the ground. This then will be the upward facing dog. You don't have to do this if it feels okay. Lift the chest, roll the shoulders back either way. And again, exhaling, downward facing dog. Staying with that nice steady breath. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. Just let the head hang. Gazing softly back. Keep those muscles gently engaged above your kneecaps to keep the legs strong. If at any point in any of these down-facing dogs you need to back off, you can come down onto your knees, just keep breathing. Remember, the most important thing we're doing is staying with this nice, steady breath. And that's 4 and 5. Inhale, whatever it takes, a little jump step, getting the feet back to the front of the mat, stay low, looking up. Exhale, gently folding down, let the head hang. Inhale, press into the feet, space around the shoulders, gazing up to our palms, and then exhaling, hands to sides. Good stuff. So we're going to have a go at doing a few variations on the sun salutations. So at the beginning of this next sun salutation, we're going to bend our knees. We're going to sink down into a posture called Utkatasana. As you sink down, again, inhale and reach the arms up. Now here, it might feel like the arms are a little way in front of you. That's fine. If you relax the shoulders, you can get them a little bit further up towards the ceiling. The challenge here is to keep sinking down, extending the fingertips up, make sure that feels okay in the neck as you gently look up, and keep this nice space all around the shoulders. A few more breaths. And then exhale. You keep the knees bent, gently folding down, let the head hang. Inhale, stay low, lift the gaze, look up. This time we're going to step back and hold our upper plank. So as the feet go back, keep the body nice and strong. With the fingers spread, make sure that it feels okay on your wrists to have your shoulders above your wrists, and a few breaths here. Try and gently press back through the heels. So imagine your body's in a straight line. If gravity starts taking over or you need to come down onto your knees at any point, there's no problem. A few more breaths. And then exhale, gently coming down, elbows in. From here, we're going to inhale. Can we hold Cobra for a few breaths? Lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. A little bit further to go might be the upward facing dog. Either way, keep breathing. Just a few breaths here. More challenging, obviously, to breathe here wherever you are. Just keep the legs gently active. And then exhale, pressing back into our down facing dog. We're going to turn our right heel in towards that back left foot. And with a nice step, we're going to get this left foot as far forwards as we can to the front of the mat. We're going to get our bearings here as we sink down over that left knee. And if our balance is okay, we're reaching the arms up. It's the same upper body position as previously. We're going to be here in Virabhadrasana Warrior for a few breaths. And on the left side here, with the shoulders relaxing down, try and feel that back foot pressing back into the mat behind you. Smooth breath in and out. One more breath here before we fall down. With the hands down on the ground, we're going to go straight back to down facing dog. So all the way back to down facing dog, turning your left heel in, nice step through with your right foot. As far forward as you can get with that right foot. Once you've got your bearings, press back into that left foot, sink down over that right knee, and again, inhaling arms up. A few breaths here. Try and feel that space around the shoulders. Keep pressing back into that left foot behind you. Feel the support over your right knee. And one more full deep breath here before we exhale. Hands either side of that right foot with the fingers spread. Step that right foot back, elbows in. If you need to come down onto your knees, you can, but try and keep your body nice and strong as you lower down. Inhale, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, upward facing dog. Exhale, all the way back. Down facing dog. Just get your bearings here in this down facing dog, keeping your right foot down on the mat behind you. Can you start extending your left foot in a straight line behind you? Just be careful of someone behind you. You don't kick them in the face too hard. And then keep extending, if you've got enough space, that left foot up towards the ceiling. Keep breathing. You're still encouraging your chest to move back towards that right foot. Keep pointing those left toes back behind you. A few more breaths. Good stuff. Looks great. And then exhale, left foot comes down. You're going to switch sides. Keeping that left foot on the ground, can you extend your right foot? You can keep it in view so it's parallel to the ground to begin with. And if you wish to go further, try not to let that right hip roll up and off to the side too much. Keep pointing your toes back behind you. If you're at the back of the room, carefully don't kick the camera. A few more breaths. And if you need to come down, just take a breather. No problem. Before exhaling, taking that right foot down. From here, just take a breath before bending the knees, and then you're going to hop or step the feet back to the front of the mat. Stay low, lift the gaze, look up. Exhale, gently fall down, let the head hang. We're going to bend the knees. We're going to sink down just for breath into Utkatasana. So sink down, reach the arms up, gently looking up. We're going to go straight back down. Last variation on the sun salutation. So wherever feels appropriate to fall forward, let the head hang. Inhale, stay low, lift the gaze, look up. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands down to step or hop the feet back, elbows in. Can you imagine your body in a nice straight line as you lower down? Whatever it takes to be on the tops of the feet, Cobra or upward facing dog, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, exhale all the way back. Downward facing dog. As you look back at your feet, you're going to keep that right foot where it is, a nice inhale. Now, can you lift your left knee up towards the chest and just point those left toes behind you? So you're sort of in a plank here, lifting that left knee up. If it's too much to get that left foot off the ground, you can just support it down there. Can we just hold this for a few breaths? And then we're going to stretch that left foot out and just go into that three-legged dog just for a breath. And then we're going to come back through, and we're going to get this left foot as far forward as we can. We're actually in a lunge here. If it's too much to keep this back right leg straight, you can come down onto your right knee, that's no problem. And we're going to have our hands in prayer position in front of us. We're going to breathe a few breaths here. You want to just look straight ahead, keep pressing back out through that back right heel behind you, keep sinking down, keep breathing. It's optional if you want to go a little bit further, you can gently fall forward over your left thigh and take the arms out in front. Now, even though the arms are going out in front of you, you want to just look down to that place just off the front of your mat. A few breaths here, or you might still be here. And then gently, just going to come down onto your right knee and pause there. Just let those right toes go out behind you. So we're facing the front, we're putting our hands in prayer position, and we're doing a gentle twist. We're encouraging our right elbow to come on the outside of that left knee. A little bit further to go, you can encourage your shoulder to go a little bit further down. Hands in prayer position, and then roll your left shoulder back as you turn to the left. Keep breathing here. It's quite challenging. Be careful you don't fall over. If you want to re-straighten that back leg out behind you, and keep turning, that's optional. A few breaths, good. Keep breathing. Either way, which way we're going? Drawing your left shoulder back. A few more breaths, good stuff. And then exhale, looking down at that left foot. Hands down on the ground. We're going to push straight back to down facing dog. So this time, we're going to keep that left foot where it is, and we're going to bend our right knee and go forward into our plank and lift our right knee up towards the chest and have the right toes pointing back behind us. And just look down at the ground, a few breaths here. Keep breathing. Keep the arms nice and strong. Keep that left foot working. And then inhale, and straighten that right leg out behind us, just three-legged dog for a breath. And then bringing that foot through. So the right foot is facing forwards. We're in the lunge with this back left leg. If you did need to put that left knee down, that's no problem. Hands in prayer position, sink down, looking straight ahead, keep the shoulders relaxed. Full deep breathing. The challenge is here is to keep breathing. It's getting nice and warm in this room, so just keep sweating it out. If you want to go further, you can fall forward over that right thigh, palms facing each other. That actually takes your gaze down just in front of your right toes. A few more breaths here. Keep pressing back into that left foot wherever you are. And then once we've got our bearings and come back up, we could, probably advisable to put that left knee down before we put our hands in prayer position and turn to the right. Left elbow just on that side of right knee. Draw right shoulder back. A little bit further just to slide your left shoulder down closer to the outside of right knee. Either way, gently twisting, looking up to the right. If you wanted to re-straighten that back left leg, whichever way you're going, a few more breaths. Keep breathing. Good. And then exhale, looking down. We're going to step that right foot back, push back into our down facing dog. And from here, we're going to inhale, look to the hands, whatever it takes, a couple of steps, hop, walking the feet to the front of the mat, stay low. Inhale, look up. Exhale, gently falling down, let the head hang. We're going to bend the knees and sink down. Just hold Utkatasana for one last time for a couple of breaths. Keep sinking down, keep reaching the fingertips up. And then exhale. We're going to straighten the legs, take the hands to the sides. So we're going to use the width of our mat and step out to this left side. So as you inhale, step out to the left. You're going to step out to Trikonasana, triangle posture. So feet are parallel, going to lift the arms out to shoulder height. Distance between your feet approximately as if they're underneath your elbows. Left foot to the back of your mat, right foot is going to turn in. Roll this right hip back and take your left hand slightly back and down. Down could be your shin or your ankle. Once you hooked it there, inhale and turn. If you can extend your right arm straight up towards the ceiling, that's where we're looking. If it's too much to look up, just look across the side, this side of the room. Try and keep that back right leg nice and active. And if it's too much to keep that left leg at the front straight, you can just slightly soften that left knee. A few more breaths. And then inhale, coming up, feet parallel. Right foot to the front, left foot turns in. Try and keep facing the long edge of your mat. Imagine you're sandwiched between two panes of glass. Taking that right hand slightly forwards and down. Down might be different on this side. Ankle, shin, you might need to soften that right knee. Relax your shoulders. That left shoulder rotates to gaze straight up towards your left thumb. Try and imagine a nice amount of space across the shoulders. Keep pressing back into that back. Left foot behind you. Keep breathing a few more breaths. Everyone's doing really well. And it's all about maintaining this focus on this steady breathing. This is a breathing exercise, and these movements are just extra. From there, we're going to inhale, come up, and we're going to turn to face the back of the room. Left foot to the back, right foot turns in. As you do this, I want you to imagine there's an imaginary strip, other way around, down the middle of your mat. So your left foot is on one side of that line, right foot turned in. So you can take your hands to your waist. Can you square up to the back of the room? Draw left hip back, right hip forwards. From here, we're going to gently take our hands behind our back. We can hold our elbows a little bit further to slide along to the wrist, possibly reverse prayer position. Inhale, lift the chest, taking it nice and steady, very gently folding forwards over the top of that left leg. Push back into that right foot behind you. If you need to soften your left knee, you can. Keep breathing. Feels a bit too intense over that left leg, just back off a little bit. And then just going to come up slightly. You're going to release your hands, bend that left knee as much as you need to walk your fingers down close to that left foot. If you can sink your palms down onto the ground, what we're going to do is tilt more weight onto that left foot. And can you again, be careful there's nobody behind you again, lift your right foot off of the ground, point that right foot back. And if you wish to, you could fall down a little bit more over that left leg. You're going to visualize your grandma doing this. It's pretty straightforward. A few more breaths. Now this next phase is optional, so take it nice and steady. If you want to just work your fingers off the ground and balance on that left leg, you could work them just off in front of you. You could take them out in front of you. Palms facing and that right leg behind. You're just looking down at the ground. Sorry, I caught your foot then. You could at some point, if you're doing this at home, I know be eager to try this when you get home tonight, take your arms out to the side, but there's a good chance you might not have enough space here to do that. And if you do knock somebody over, make sure you drag them down with you. A few more breaths. And then, backing off, right foot comes down, soften that left knee. Inhale, coming up to the side, turn, turn, turn. We're going to do that on the right side. Right foot to the front, slightly step that left foot out. There's an imaginary strip down the middle of your mat. You could put your hands on your waist, right hip back, left hip forward, square up to the front, hands behind back, holding elbows, wrists, reverse prayer position. It could be different over this right leg. Inhale, lift the chest and take it steady. You might just get to here. Push back into that left foot. If you're going a little bit further, try and just let the chest go gently down first, let the head follow, looking to your right toes. A few more breaths here. Everyone's doing really well. Keep breathing in. And out. And then, just backing off slightly, and then you're going to take your hands from behind your back, just bend that right knee and take them down either side of that right foot. You can tilt a little bit more weight. Ideally, if you can get your palms down on the ground, a little bit more support. Just what would it feel like to get that left leg just slightly behind you? A little bit further to go as for you to start folding forward over your right leg. You can be here. A few breaths, just get used to this sensation. And then if you wanted to walk the hands a little bit further forward and then work the fingers off the ground and start extending your hands out in front of you, palms facing each other. And you're just looking down in front of that right foot, extending that leg. If you did have enough space, or maybe not necessarily now at some point, if you could take the arms slightly out to the side. A few more breaths. Keep folding forwards. Good stuff. And then exhale, gently backing off. That left foot comes down. Just get your bearings, soften that right knee. And then we're just going to inhale, come up to standing, feet together, front of the mat. Last couple of standing postures. We're going to step out to the left again, but further this time, nice and wide. So feet parallel, lift out the arms to shoulder height, palms facing down. So the distance between your parallel feet is greater now, as if they are underneath your wrists. Left foot to the back, right foot turns in. Back leg is straight. Glance down and track your left knee over your left heel, so it's going directly towards the back of the room. And incidentally, your hips are still facing the long edge of your mat. As you look over your left fingertips towards the back of the room, this is Virabhadrasana Warrior 2. In the variation of the sun salutation we did previously, that was Virabhadrasana Warrior 1, or A. A few breaths here. Try and feel the thighs rolling away from each other. And then, a little bit further into Parsvakonasana is to take your left elbow just short of your left knee. We can begin by lifting that right hand straight up towards the ceiling. and being here for a few breaths. A little bit further is to start bringing this right arm towards the back of the room. It is possible over time to work this left hand down towards the ground, or a nice option is to try and slide your left elbow on the inside of this left knee underneath and then drop your right hand back down. If you can reach the fingers, then draw your right shoulder back either way. Keep that back leg nice and straight. And this is optional. You don't have to be doing this. It's better just to keep that left arm where it is. A few more breaths there. And then wherever you are, coming up, feet parallel, lift out the arms to shoulder height. Exhale, we're going to take the hands onto the waist and just pause here. So we're facing the side of the mat. Going to inhale, give the arms a nice lift out to shoulder height. Just relax your shoulders, taking hands behind back. We're going to interlace the fingers. Try and maintain that grip. Lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Look slightly up and forwards. And exhale, just taking it easy. This is a forward bend, Prasarita Padottanasana, but with your feet spread out, take it easy on the insides of the legs, folding down. Ultimately, the arms can start coming up and over behind the head. A few more breaths here. And just be careful, there might be somebody fairly close to you. Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale, good stuff. Feel the feet evenly pressing into the mat. A few more breaths. And then inhale, coming up. Exhale, we're going to turn our right foot to the front, left foot turns in, give the arms a nice stretch out. You're going to sink down over your right knee, glance down, push back into that left foot behind you, try and feel the thighs rolling away from each other. Keep the shoulders relaxed, looking over your right fingertips. This is Virabhadrasana, Warrior 2, and we're on the right side. And this strong position of the legs, just holding this for one more breath, will enable us to begin by taking our right elbow just short of that right knee into a Parsvottanasana. We could extend our left arm straight towards the ceiling. Possible at some point, maybe to get the right hand down on the ground. Either way, turning your left palm to the front of the room, you can bring that arm over. And if you've been here for a few breaths and you've done this before, you might want to get your right elbow underneath that right knee, reach that right hand back up and around, drop your left hand down, roll that left shoulder back. Incidentally, you're going to try and keep your hips square to the side of your mat. So for most people, try and keep your right hip sort of underneath you more and roll that left hip up. A few more breaths. And then inhale. We're coming up to the side, feet parallel, lift out the arms to shoulder height, and then inhale, facing in front of the mat, hands to sides. We're just going to do a couple of balance postures, and then we're going to come down onto the ground and do some seated postures. So, we're going to transfer the weight to your right leg, and we're going to bend our left knee and lift that foot off of the ground. We're facing forwards. We're going to take underneath our left knee with our right hand and support there. It could be optional to get hold of your big toe with two fingers, so right hand holding left big toe. But see how you get on is you take your left hand behind you and start turning to the left, and that could be done holding on to that straighter left leg, looking back behind you. Keep breathing. Keep that right leg nice and strong, supporting leg, just holding this for another breath. And then inhale. Now as you face forward, can you swivel the hands back onto the waist, but keep that left leg lifting, point the toes. Try not to lean back, whoa, so you're standing in a straight line. So if someone's looking at you from the side, you're in one straight line. Strong right leg, keep lifting, point the toes. And then exhale, release. Switching sides, bending right knee. So as we prepare to turn to the right, left hand underneath right knee. A little bit further, could be holding onto the big toe with two fingers for that left hand. And then you're taking your right hand behind you, starting to turn back behind you, but keep that left leg nice and strong. A few more breaths. And then inhale, facing forwards. As you turn to face the front, you can get your hands on your waist and keep that right leg extended. So that left foot is firmly down on the ground, pointing those right toes away from you. A couple more breaths. Good stuff. Keep the face relaxed, keep breathing. And then gently exhale that right foot down. Going to have a go at doing one more standing posture, balance posture, it's called eagle posture. And we're going to begin by bending our left knee, taking it in front of your right foot, taking that left foot behind, we might just get to here. A little bit further is to try and get the foot round behind that right ankle. You'll notice your left knee is probably off to the side a little bit, to the right. Can you straighten it more central? If you're worried about your balance, hands in prayer position is a nice way into this posture. If you want to go a little bit further, look at your left thumb, right elbow comes underneath, and just whatever feels okay to start reaching your fingers around just below left thumb, and then you could start sending all of that up as you sink down. If you find yourself falling over and you're all caught up in a knot, then brace for impact. A few more breaths. And then gently undoing yourself from that, feet together, hands by sides. Bending right knee, get that foot across, right foot behind left leg, or that left heel. If your right knee seems to be way off to the left side, can you just draw it to the front slightly? Once you've got your bearings, hands in prayer position, a great way in here. If you're going a little bit further, looking at your right thumb, left elbow underneath, left fingers start coming round. Don't worry if you can't quite get round, just look up, fingers going up towards the ceiling, sinking down. Keep breathing. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Feel the support in that standing leg. And then exhale, gently releasing that right leg, taking hands to sides. Just take a breather there. Everyone's doing really well, and we're coming down onto the ground to do some seated postures. Inhale, reaching the arms up. This is how we get down onto the ground. Look up. Exhale, gently folding down. Let the head hang. Inhale, stay low. Lift the gaze. Look up. Exhale, jumping or stepping the feet back, just as we did before. Elbows into lower down. Inhale on the tops of the feet. Lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, all the way back. Down facing dog. Just getting your bearings there, but coming through from this down facing dog though to sitting. So a couple of steps through with the feet, press into the hands, whatever it takes for you to sit down, and then straighten out the legs. From sitting, we're going to have a go doing a couple of postures where we vary sides. Sometimes when we've done the standing variation, we end up doing tree posture. And sitting down on the ground, it's called Janu Sirsasana. It's really important as you start bending your left knee to make sure the knee feels okay. This is all about a little bit of rotation to your hip. We're guiding the sole of your left foot onto the inside of that right leg. We can support the knee with our left hand if we wish. It might drift down. Could be that you're slightly off to the left. So you're going to just do the best you can to square up and face your right leg. So as well as getting the rotation to this left hip, making sure the knee feels okay, we're going to do a very gentle forward bend. By taking your hands just wherever feels comfortable, either side of that right knee, just relax your shoulders. We can inhale, look up towards your right foot, keep those toes spreading up towards the ceiling, and exhale, and maybe just taking that forward a few degrees. Take it steady on your right leg, the straight right leg. If you need to soften that knee a little bit, you can. If you wish to go further, you might be able to reach for that right foot. Keep breathing wherever you are. Just take your gaze down. So you're just going to let the head hang, just look down towards your right knee. If you can you feel some element that the sole of your left foot is actually engaged up against the inside of that right leg? So if you were doing tree posture and standing, you would need to have that connection for the foot to stay there. And then inhale, coming up. Now, if your left leg feels okay where it is, you're going to leave it and bend your right knee and draw your foot in a little bit. We're preparing now to twist to the right. If it's possible and you want to move this left foot underneath and get your left knee a little bit closer to that right foot, so this left leg is coming off to the side, that's optional. We're then going to reach our left hand around the outside of our knee and inhale, sit up, and exhale as we turn to the right. We're going to take our right hand behind us, facing back, and this twisting posture, we want to try and maintain this sense of sitting up, inhale, lift, exhale, it's about turning your torso, your left ribs to the top of that right thigh. If you want to go a little bit further, you could maneuver your left elbow on the outside of that right knee so that your palm is facing the way you're twisting, fingers up towards the ceiling. A few breaths here. Inhale, try and lengthen, sit up tall. Exhale, twist. Inhale, from the base of your spine out through the top of the head, try and lengthen. Exhale, twist. Good stuff. Inhale, face the front. Exhale, release. Between sides, we're going to do a little of Vinyasa. We're going to cross our left ankle over our right ankle, knees to chest. Way practicing these Vinyasas is to take your fingers nice and wide. Palms really need to be flat down on the mat. We're going to do a practice lift, and then I'll give you a couple of options to get back through. So with the fingers spread, nice full breath, trying to feel a little bit of support from your abdomen. To inhale, push and tilt a bit of weight forward, even if nothing much is happening or possibly the hips come off the ground. exhale, come back down. Now the next time we do that, we're going to have a go at getting our legs behind us to move through the vinyasa. So you can, over time, keep the hands where they are, but realistically you might need to inhale, push, and then flick the hands in front to step the feet back from there. So if you need a little bit of momentum going forwards, and if that's not happening, just keep practicing the lifts. You can always just scoot the feet out behind you. You need to get back to here. So let's have a go. So knees to chest, crossing ankles, fingers spread. Inhale, push, whatever it takes, tilt and wait forward, flick the hands in front, jump, step, hop the feet back. From here, very familiar, elbows into lower down, press. You might be doing the Cobra, upward facing dog with thighs off the ground, a little bit further to go. Either way, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, just for one breath, down facing dog, and then inhale, coming through to sitting. So press into the hands, a couple of steps, whatever it takes, and then we're straightening out the legs in front of us. We're doing Janu Sirsasana, the name of the posture, the right side. It's about bending gently your right knee, sort of your right foot is coming up onto the inside of your left leg. Try and keep this left leg nice and active, toes up towards the ceiling. If you wish, you could support this right knee. You might find you've slightly gone off to the right. As much as you can, just square up to the front of the room. Make sure it feels okay in your knee. It's all about the rotation of your right hip, hands either side of left knee, nice way in. A little bit further forward. Inhale, lift the chest, look into your toes, and then folding forwards. Just let the head hang. At some point, you could possibly be reaching for your left toes. If that's too much, a couple of things going on in this posture. Make sure it feels okay, forward bending over your left knee and that left leg. And in particular, just double check that your right knee feels secure. Keep breathing. A couple of breaths here. And then inhale, coming up. And you can, if you wish, keep that right leg where it is. You're going to start bending your left knee and walking that left foot. You can walk that left foot just a little way in. And we're preparing to turn to the left. If at this point, and it feels okay in your right knee, to get this foot a little bit further out to the left, and then you can draw this left foot in a little bit further. We're going to use our right hand on the outside of this left knee to sit up nice and tall. Just maneuver that left hand behind us. Feel a little bit of support there. Not too much, just enough pressure just to get a sense that you're sitting up nice and tall. If you want to get your right elbow on the outside of left knee, palm facing the way you're turning again, then inhale, lift the chest, try and sit up. Exhale, turn. This posture isn't about how far back you're looking, it's about getting a sense that you're turning your torso from the base of your spine out through the top of your head. You can imagine that your right ribs are coming around to the top of that left thigh. Keep the neck relaxed, keep breathing, a few more breaths. Smooth breath in, smooth breath out. And then inhale, facing the front. Ready to do another vinyasa? There's just a couple more of these coming up. Right ankle crosses over left, so we keep bearing that up. Make sure the knees feel okay. The key to these vinyasas is actually to be in a fairly compact shape. So if you reached your hands round below the knees, if you could get hold of your elbows and just let the head hang and just be here. Imagine you're in a really compact shape, like small box, or you're about to board a Ryanair flight. Nice and compact. And then coming up, you're going to put your hands down by your sides, fingers spread nice and wide. Press, try and just feel that pressure down to tilt a bit of weight forward. Exhale. Truly, it's about this awareness to your abdomen. It's lifting up from here. Everybody at this point says their arms aren't long enough. But if you took your hands out in front of you, forwards and the palms forwards, there is enough space underneath you. So it is possible to kind of tilt up and get off the ground a little bit further. But it's a work in progress. Press, tilt some weight forward, and whatever it takes. Something to work towards as you inhale, push, is to keep the hands where they are, to jump or step the feet back. Either way, elbows in as you go down. Inhale, upward facing dog, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pausing in our downward facing dog for a moment to get our bearings. Before inhale, we're going to slide forward to that upper plank. We've done this already. Shoulders then above wrist, fingers spread, strong legs, push back through the heels, neck release, looking down at the space between your hands. Just catch your breath here. Smooth breath in. Smooth breath out. And if you can, the challenge is, can you slowly, elbows in, lower down onto the mat? If you need to put your knees down, of course, that's okay. And we end up lying down on our fronts. Can you feel your feet, the big toe sides of your feet, touching behind you, and the legs are straight? You can take your hands back by your sides, palms facing up, chin gently on the mat. just catch your breath here. We're ready to do a posture called Shalabhasana, and this takes the concept of the Cobra or the upward facing dog just a little bit further. We're going to work on our legs first, so you can keep the legs engaged, keep the toes together, big toe sides of the feet together. Can you inhale and start lifting your feet just off the mat? Now, it's important to try not to bend the knees. It's more about thinking your toes are going backwards than up. Try and roll the thighs in and keep the legs strong. A few more breaths here. Keep breathing. Smooth breath in and out. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And then exhale, come back down. That's the bottom half of the posture. Top half up here is to keep the hands down on the ground, palms facing up. Inhale, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Just let the head follow. Take it easy on the shoulders and the neck. Keep lifting the chest. Imagine there's someone behind you, gently just drawing your shoulders back. You don't want to look up too much. Just look about a meter or so just off the front of your mat. A few more breaths here. Smooth breath in. I know it's more challenging to breathe here as it is to speak. And exhale and release. Take a moment there. You can, if you wish, do both of those things separately, but the full posture is both of those things at the same time. And you notice in each case, your hips, your midsection, and the back of the hands on the ground. So, inhale, activate the legs, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, Shalabhasana. A few breaths. Let's count to 5. 1, keep breathing. 2, keep the legs strong. 3, just make sure it feels okay in the back. Just keep lifting the chest, roll the shoulders back. 4, 5. Exhale. Just have a little breather here. Just relax the feet. You can take the hands in front of you, palms facing down. You can put your chin just on top of your hand. If you wanted to turn your head sideways, you can. Just a few moments there. And then we'll take our hands by our sides. You can spread the fingers. And we're going to have a go holding Cobra, Bhujangasana. So just keep the legs pleasantly active. You're going to press. Just a nice way in is just to be here. Here you've got the hands, so you can press into the hands, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Take it nice and easy. Try and feel this nice extension throughout the entire spine. Make sure it's not pinching anywhere. If you need to back off, you can. Shoulders rolling back. Keep the arms nice and active. Just going to hold it for one more breath. If you wish to turn this into your upward facing dog to move through the Vinyasa, then inhale, press strong legs, a little bit further to go. Exhale all the way back. Down facing dog. From this down facing dog, again, we're just going to have a brief pause before we move through the last couple of postures. So everyone's doing really well. And to take it easy for a few breaths, we're coming down onto our knees, flick the toes out behind. From cat posture, feet come together. You can sit back down and just have a few moments in child's posture and let the head hang. This is a really nice release from essentially what you've just done, the back bending postures. Child's pose is a nice, easy forward bend. Nice time as well just to stabilize the breath, relax the shoulders, feel the fingers spread nice and wide into the mat behind your head. A few more moments here. Try and find that steady breath. Smooth breath in through the nose. Smooth breath out through the nose. And then inhale, coming up to cat posture. Exhale, tucking the toes, pushing back. We're doing a balanced posture. Last couple of postures then. This is about eventually putting more weight into the hands. So I really encourage you to take it easy on the wrists. Just go through. I'm going to give you lots of options. Just keep moving until you get to your limit, and then you're going to see if you can hold it. So we're going to walk your feet about halfway in, facing forwards, behind the hands. The fingers are spread nice and wide. You're going to slightly bend your knees. Inhale, can you look up to the front? If this feels okay, you're going to walk your feet further forwards. At some point, the toes are touching the wrists. Spread the toes down into the mat, hands down. Inhale, lift. Can you sit back a little bit further? You can imagine there's a nice comfy chair behind you, which you're sitting down on. Keep lifting the chest, keep the shoulders soft, and look forwards. This might be enough for you. If this is your limit, just be here for a few breaths. At any point, you can step back and just take it easy. If you want to go further from here, you're putting more weight onto the toes, lifting the heels off the ground. Ideally, you're sending the knees straight up towards the armpits, not too far off to the side. Challenging from here to look up. Lift the chest. I should have said, don't fall forward onto your heads. Now, if you want to go further from here, you're going to lift that left foot off the ground and point the toes back behind you. Keep looking forwards. You can switch sides. This is a three-legged crow. I don't know what that means really. Keep breathing. And if you want to go a little bit further, take it easy in the wrists, spread the fingers, both feet come off the ground, toes point back behind you, keep looking forward. A few more breaths here. If you need to come back, just come down, just squat down. Please don't fall forward onto your heads. If you want something else to do, it's possible to have a go jumping into this from your down facing dog. Obviously, just don't go toppling forwards. And it's possible to get a little bit of a lift up as well. Probably shouldn't be doing this with the microphone and everything. And then exhale. And whatever it takes for you to jump, step, hop your feet back. And we're going to be here. Elbows into low down. You can practice that at home tonight. Inhale. Upper facing dog. Exhale. Down facing dog. Inhale. Jumping or stepping the feet through. Just coming through to sitting. A posture called Supta Kurmasana. It's the sleeping tortoise posture. Going to just soften the knees and have the feet facing each other. The little toe sides of the feet touching. You can support your knees here. Just a little bit more openness for the hips. If you want to stay here, you can. Supta Kurmasana means sleeping tortoise. This is the tortoise shell rounding. So you could just be here, taking your head down. If it feels okay to let go of your knees, you can take your hands here. A little bit further to go is to walk the hands underneath the ankles. You could put your hands on the feet if you're getting a bit further, but try and suck in the tummy and then just let gravity take the top of your head down towards your heels and just breathe there. And this is the gravity-assisted posture, so a lot of the downward movement is just by letting go, but keep breathing. Smooth breath in, smooth breath out. And just relax the neck and shoulders. Just going to stay here for a few extra breaths. And then inhale, gently coming up. We're going to have a go doing a posture called Parighasana, just one of our last postures. So you need a little bit of space just to straighten out your legs. So you might need to slightly shuffle forwards or backwards. So from facing the front, if you need to slightly soften these, you can. We're going to start turning towards our left leg, and we're going to look at the back of the left hand. And if you feel you've got a little bit of openness in that shoulder, you can just turn the back of your hand down onto the ground next to that foot. From here, you're going to just take your right hand on your waist, inhale, and just turn and look up towards the ceiling. Take that nice and easy on the neck. If it feels okay, you can stretch that right arm up and a little way behind. So you feel this separation across the shoulders. And imagine as that right hand is going back, you're almost turning your back over that straight left leg. And make sure that feels okay. A few breaths here. Really, you just release and relax that right shoulder. And then coming forwards. So from this, facing forwards, back of your right hand, just down on the ground, just relax your right shoulder, turning. So you're rolling your left shoulder back, hand on waist, but if it feels okay, left hand behind. The weight of that left hand just helps you just turn your back almost on your right leg. But take it easy. It could be potentially fairly intense on that straight right leg. If you need to soften a little bit, you can. Just whatever feels okay. A few more nice even breaths here. And then inhale to center. From center, you just soften the knees a little bit and just take the hands in front. And just have your forearms down on the ground and just gently sink down. Just let the head go. Nice, easy forward bend, but obviously with your feet spread out, just take that nice and steady. Try and keep the toes active. And then inhale, coming up. We're taking our last vinyasa, so we're going to cross our ankles, knees to chest, hands flat, fingers spread. Inhale, press, tilt and weight forward. If you're getting tired now, just take the legs out to the side or flick the hands in front, whatever it takes. Last time, jumping or stepping the feet back, elbows into lower down. Inhale on the tops of the feet, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, all the way back, down facing dog. And from this down facing dog, inhale, jumping or stepping through to sitting. And from sitting, we're taking our last seated posture. We're going to cross our ankles and just sit cross-legged for a few moments. Now we're going to switch this around. So whichever way you've sat cross-legged, that just depends maybe whether you're right-handed, left-handed. You'll notice that whichever leg is in front, you potentially could, and without forcing anything, take this leg into what's called half lotus. But I would only do that if you've done this yoga practice a few times and you feel enough openness in the hip. You don't want to be stressing the knee. This comes from just doing postures, the warrior postures like Janu Sirsasana over time. But as I say, it's something you don't want to feel is forced. So just feel that's comfortable. Incidentally, doing that on the other leg, that's full lotus Padmasana. And we're going to take the hands just onto the knees. We're going to sit up tall and we're going to look straight ahead and relax the shoulders. Imagine there's a string attached to the top of your head. In this yoga practice, any yoga practice, over a period of time, just creates and promotes some flexibility, openness in the hips, in the shoulders, and taking our spine through this range of movements, forward bends, back bends, twists. We find this neutral place where we sit up nice and tall, and then just drift our gaze down to the space between the knees at the front of our mat. So the chin moves down towards the top of the chest, and we're breathing 5 steady breaths here in this seated meditative posture. And it's a good opportunity at the end of this practice just to check in with this full deep breathing. Face relaxed, mouth closed, smooth breath in through the nose. Smooth breath out through the nose. And just keep your attention turned inwards. Just follow every inhalation, every exhalation. And then we're going to switch sides. So you could uncross your legs. So it begins with, and if you haven't, or you don't often do this, sitting cross-legged the other way around can feel a little bit peculiar just to begin with. So that might be enough. If you want to take the other foot that's in front, gently half lotus. This works as to doing full lotus over a period of time. So it makes sense just to work at one side. You don't necessarily have to do that. If that feels a bit too much for that knee or feels a bit uncomfortable, sitting cross-legged is a great way in to this seated posture. Hands on the knees and then looking back down. Just whatever feels appropriate, just to breathe. And a few more breaths here. If you can you make your breath even just a little bit longer? Smooth breath in. Nice long breath out. And this yoga practice then just enables us to sit a little bit more comfortably on the ground. So you might want to practice this just at home at some point. You know, you could sit on the floor and watch TV, or sit on the floor and eat a meal and just see what that feels like. A few more breaths. And then just before we take our Shavasana, we're going to just stay in this position wherever you are with your legs. You're going to take your hands to your side with the fingers spread, and we're going to do one extended lift. It's going to go by for 10 breaths pretty quickly. You're just going to press down. Don't worry if you're not lifting up, but try and feel some inward lift until some weight forwards. If you're not in lotus or half lotus, your feet are probably going to be on the floor. If you can get your knees into your chest and press down, you could be here. 1, 2, you might just be here. 3, just keep breathing. 4, just press down. 5, 6, keep pressing into the mat. 7, 8, 9, 10. Exhale, well done. So we've got a few moments just to take Shavasana. We're going to take our feet nice and wide to the edge of the mat. Let the feet flop out to the side. We're lying down on our backs, taking the arms off the edge of the mat, palms up towards the ceiling. If you've got enough space, or just to your side, let the feet flop out. Feel the back of the head gently on the mat. And in this last posture, just as important as all the other postures we've done, Shavasana, we completely let go. You want to relax the muscles in the arms and in the legs. We were breathing these full deep breaths throughout the entirety of this practice. We can let the full deep breathing go now, just let the body breathe itself. We let go of the awareness to the abdomen. You might feel the tummy rise as you inhale, fall as you exhale. Keep the face soft. If you wish, you could gently open up the mouth, so you're breathing in through the mouth as well as the nose, and this creates and promotes this spacious quality in the jaw, down the back of the throat. And just feel space now between all of the joints in the body, in the shoulders, the wrists, the neck, down the length of the spine. And you can imagine you're just floating in space, completely weightless, completely let go. I'm just going to spend a few more moments here. So just enjoy this time in Shavasana. But I'd encourage you just to stay with that steady quality of mind that's tuned gently in to the sensation of how you're breathing now. Just immerse yourself in that sensation of breath, in the sensations throughout the entire body. And just notice the mind continually moving. We often find ourselves thinking about things in the future or the past. But this yoga practice helps us find this place in the middle of past and future, this present place, this quiet place between your last thought and your next thought. And we're spending just a few more moments here. And then gently starting to bring some awareness back into your fingers and your toes. Just moving the hands and the feet. Relaxing the shoulders. Inhale, arms up towards the ceiling. Just extend the fingers up. If you've got enough space or you bend the elbows, just take the hands just behind your head. Back of the hands on the mat. Opportunity here to bend the knees and then draw the knees in a little bit further. Reach the fingers just below the knees. A little hug, moving slowly from side to side and backwards and forwards. We're going to stay in this nice curl up position and just gently exhale onto your left side. Just pausing there for a moment. You can open up your eyes, straightening out that right leg in front of you, and then just supporting yourselves. Come up to sitting. Okay. It's great that so many of you came. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed that. I'll get that edited together. It took me about a year to do the last one. I'll do it in the next few weeks. And I'll link that into the Facebook page. So in the next few weeks, just check out the LUU Facebook page. And you can check that out as well for more classes on this week and the next couple of weeks. Hope your exams are going really well and all the revision you're doing. And I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Cheers.